The passage chosen for today's devotion from Bible is Matthew, chapter 17, verses 14 to 21. Many Christians have found that after a great spiritual experience there comes an anticlimax. Jesus here had come from a wonderful time of affirming communion with God his Father and immediately faced the problem of the ineffectiveness of his followers. It seems that he expected his disciples to have sufficient faith to repeat his miracles. After all, they had ministered effectively before. Had they not seen enough to believe? The placing of this story after the Transfiguration shows that Jesus can do many things if only people trust him, including giving relevant help during the pandemic. We can imagine some embarrassment as well as encouragement as this incident was read out in Matthew's church. By that time, Jesus had ascended and left the disciples to carry on his ministry. Perhaps as their knowledge of God had grown, their dependence on him had diminished. Jesus wanted to underline to them that a lack of faith would leave them unable to minister effectively. The reason for the disciples' inability is their minuscule faith. Jesus uses the smallness of a mustard seed to illustrate their problem. But he balances his reproach with some optimism that even just a little more faith could be effective. It is God's capability that is all important. However, it is important to observe here that it is not the amount of faith that brings the impossible within reach, but the power of God, which is available to even the smallest faith. Perhaps we should interpret nothing will be impossible for you, as you can do everything Jesus has given authority for. We always ought to submit to God's will. Yet verse 20 gives a precious promise we should not ignore as we learn of our constant dependence on God for everything. How strong would you say your faith in God is? Grow my faith, Lord. Help me to undertake your work in your strength, not mine.